Hey, IronPigs fans, Mike Ventola with you, and hopefully everybody's staying healthy and happy out there. And of course, a lot to get excited for this Christmas season. But, as we've heard a lot of baseball news going on, figured we get a chance to talk to someone who spent some time at Coca-Cola Park this past summer, and that is Phillies catcher Logan O'Hoppe. And Logan, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining me. And secondly, how's everything going with you?
Oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate you having me. And everything's going well. Thank you. I'm back home in New York right now, and it's a little chilly. Luckily, it was a little bit warmer today. But yeah, other than it being pretty cold, things have been going really well.
No, that's great. So I know, Iron Pigs fans and, of course, any fans of the Phillies who will be watching will want to know what your experience was like during the summer, but kind of keeping things in the present. I know the weather's cold and it's tough to get outside nowadays, but how have you been staying busy in preparation for next season?
Well, luckily, the people that I had by my side in high school, I still have by my side today. So they've been helping me a ton with my off season, and especially in my first off season being home, but even more so now after this summer and knowing a little bit more than I did back then. So I'm super lucky and really grateful to have those people in my corner. My trainer, he owns his own gym about 15 minutes from my house, and I'm there when I need to. And he's been a key into my progress through this off season and the goals that I want to accomplish. And then tons of people that we'd be here forever if I named all of them, but baseball wise that have helped me, whether it's open facilities or just give me chances to get what I need to in.
For fans right now who may not be entirely caught up to speed with what a player goes through this time of year, how much of it is a balance between actual baseball activity compared to strength and conditioning and just working on your body and staying fresh for the next season?
I know it's different for some guys. I know it looks different for me last year because I went to play winter ball last year. But right now, this is the time where in my case at least, where we're moving a little bit in the gym, a little bit more than we are baseball wise. And then right after Christmas is then when those will kind of swap. So I'll ramp up the baseball work and go a little less in the gym. So that's my plan that I'm working with now. But like I said, I know it's different for plenty of other guys.
No, do you keep in touch a lot with whether it be your teammates or coaches? I'm sure, do they check in at all with your progress, kind of see what you're up to?
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll have a bunch of different calls that we'll have with whether it's strength coaches, hitting coaches, whoever. And then teammates, I'm trying to keep in touch with them as much as I can. Cause being with them every day, it's definitely a big change. I mean, you're with them more than you are your family, and then you come back home and you don't see them for a while. So I definitely try to keep tabs with them. And, from what I'm hearing, everything's going well on their side too.
No, that's great to hear. But I know fans, like I said, they kind of want to know what your experience was like this past summer. And you had the opportunity to call Coca-Cola Park and as well as Allentown, your home, for quite some time this past summer. When you can think back to when you had received either a call or whether you were on a Zoom call or a text or however that was communicated to you that you were going to be spending a lot of time in Allentown, what was your initial reaction to everything?
I was excited just to be playing because I know I was much luckier than some of my other teammates because a lot of people didn't get to play baseball this summer. So that was my first reaction. I was just thrilled to be given some kind of a season or just some place to play throughout the summer. And the experience itself was incredible. I thought I learned so much in that those couple months, and just from coaches, players, watching different guys come down, all of that. It's something I didn't take for granted, and that I'm really grateful that I got to experience.
I was about to say, I'm sure not only did you spend a lot of time with your teammates, but of course, too, it was, go from the field back to the hotel, from the hotel to the field. And I know the world is a little bit different nowadays, but, would you have, you kind of said that you were just happy to be playing baseball. So, how much of it was, as soon as you got to the field, it was just business as usual?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was different for sure. It was an adjustment as far as getting home, and you can't really go out to eat or go, do something that to pass time with all the downtime you do have, at least in this summer situation. There weren't any bus rides this year or any hotels or anything like that. So or any hotels on the road, I should say. So it was a much different feel. But I mean, we made it work. Some days were a little monotonous if it got rained out. We had a short day, but yeah, like I said before, I was just happy to have some kind of structure and just somewhere to play.
No, yeah, too. And I know for us, it was really it was fun just in a sense of getting a chance to watch you guys play every day. I know playing against your teammates can only do so much after a while, but but you guys kept things, light and loose as well too. As the alternate site, as long as you guys kept keeping busy, walk up songs, at some point you were seeing coaches playing, I'm sure there was some fun bantering going back and forth. And, so what was that like in a sense of just kind of seeing, Chris Truby and Andy Abad and some of those guys, play some different positions?
It was unique to say the least. It was pretty funny getting to play on the same field with the guys that are teaching you along the way, and also too we had a lot of guys in the clubhouse that kept things light and kept things pretty enjoyable. So overall, it was a positive experience in my eyes.
For you, you spent a lot of time, I know with between Rafael, Marchand, of course, Davey Grullon, who was with you guys for some time before now, of course. He's now a part of the Boston Red Sox organization. But then at one point, too, Jonathan Lucroy was signed and spent some time with you guys. Of course, a guy that spent a lot of time in the big leagues. And, for you, did you get a chance at all? I'm sure in little conversations to sit down with him. Did you give any cool pointers or at least kind of maybe mentor you in some way?
Absolutely. I tried to take as much advantage of him being there as I could. I may have annoyed him a little bit with the questions I was asking and how many, but yeah, as soon as he got to camp, I was super excited just because it's such a great guy. He's such a great guy to learn from. And he was great with me. He treated me great and answered every question with a lot of patience. So I'm super lucky and fortunate to have been in that spot with him for that week or 2 weeks, however long it was.
For all the minor league coordinators, not all of them could have been there. It was obviously a select few. So I know your normal catching coordinator, Ernie Witt, he wasn't there, but I know Milver, of course, former catcher himself, he spent some time with you guys throughout the summer. So I know he spent a lot of time working with you guys as kind of a catching coach on scene, so for Milver getting a chance to work with him, I know, he was supposed to be the manager in Williamsport this past season prior to everything. So how much of an influence did he have on you this past summer?
He was a lifesaver this summer, from catching bullpens when we were down a couple guys or whatever it was. He was great. I liked our relationship that we had because it kind of just kept growing as time went on. And he has a different perspective than a lot of other guys do in the organization, and it's great. I've learned so much from him, and just picking his brain every day. Again, it's something that I'm super lucky to have gone through, and hopefully I'll continue to work on them in the future.
I got to ask because, I know you touched a little bit about, the coaches having to play positions because, there wasn't a full roster of you guys in a sense, and of course, the pitchers are getting their days off when they're not pitching, and you guys had only so many position players. But from your vantage point, what was it like when you did see Chris Truby and Andy Abad each pitch an inning at one point throughout the summer? I mean, did you get a chance to see what type of stuff those guys had?
Yeah, that was the only time really that I was kind of taken back by them being on the field. But when they were out on the field, I didn't notice it too much. But yeah, when Truby came out on the bump, and I think Abad did also, then that was definitely a time where I was laughing a little bit behind the plate.
It's like anything else because baseball is, obviously it's your livelihood, it's fun. But normally throughout the summer, you normally would have had family and friends come visit, and it's like anything else because of the world we're living in right now. You weren't able to have that really happen. So, in your downtime, how much time did you spend, like for you and I talking on Zoom right now, did you probably keep a log at one point of how many Zoom calls you've made, by the time you started at Coca-Cola Park to the time you left? Probably did like 100 different Zoom calls at one point.
I did not, but yeah, FaceTime was definitely a common thing when I was home. Either that or cooking dinner, or I started reading more than I usually would. So I definitely was trying to keep myself busy in that hotel room for sure.
Well, it's good to know that, for, trying to find some downtime and getting a chance to read a little bit. Was it anything in particular? I know everyone's got their sort of genres when they like to do read or listen to type of music. Was it anything in particular that, or was it just something that you had kind of laying around?
It was something I had kind of laying around. I actually first started off with Derek Jeter's book, so that caught my eye, and he was an idol of mine growing up, and read his, and after I finished his book, I was like, oh, that took up a good amount of time, and I enjoyed it, so I stuck with it.
I was going to say that's a good book, and evident of what's going on behind me right now. I'm sure that's not a bad thing. IronPigs fans, they deal with it from time to time when it comes to me, so it's all good, Logan. But for you, being from New York, and you got a chance to go to a lot of Yankee games, and I'm sure even to some Met games from time to time, just because of the nature of living in New York. It was probably as cool as it probably ever could have been when you got a chance to go to Yankee Stadium during summer camp. And I know you talked a lot about that experience when back in July when you guys played, and of course you got an at bat late in the game. And when you kind of think back, though, to step on that field, how much did that really mean to you?
It meant a lot to me, not only me, but my family as well, because like you said, we had gone to so many games there growing up, and a lot of memories came at that stadium, and to now be on the other side of it is definitely something that is still overwhelming even now when I think about it. So just incredibly grateful for that chance.
To that, and then of course, with getting a chance to hit an inside the park home run at Citizens Bank Park, when you're getting a chance to, when you get an at bat there, when you get some time there, and if I'm not mistaken, you kept the ball, right?
At the inside the park home run,
yeah,
that was in my locker when I got back after the game. So someone snagged it and put it in my seat. But so yes, I do have that ball still.
Oh, that's cool. So got a chance, that you got a chance to keep that, and that's obviously, I'm sure that's a cool little memoir. But with all the stuff that went on this summer, and as we look forward to next year, what are you excited about most? I know it's a lot to really predict looking far ahead because so much can change, but as you look forward to a season in 2021, next year, what are you looking forward to most?
Hopefully I'm excited to have everything get back to normal. I know 3 months, it was a great 3 months, and I was happy to play like I was before, but I really do miss being in a full season. I really enjoy that part of my job, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most, just having a full season ahead, and just kind of elongating that experience I had this summer.
Let's say you're probably counting down the days to Clearwater at this point, right?
Getting the itch a little bit earlier than usual, but yeah, I'm definitely I'm chomping at the bit to get back.
So Logan, before I let you go too, and I know for you, you had spent some time in the lower levels, and you're getting a chance to hopefully continue to climb up. As you kind of take away from your experience at Coca-Cola Park and everything that you got a chance to work with a lot of guys who spend time in the big leagues. I'm sure it just drives you a little bit more that you're just like, hey, you're just continuing to chase down that dream, and it's awesome. So we're wishing you the best of luck with that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that experience this summer definitely lit a fire on me that I didn't know I needed. So that's another big part of the experience that I'm super lucky to have gotten.
Well, when the day comes, and hopefully sooner rather than later, that when you put on an Iron Pig uniform, I know you had to wear a Philly uniform all summer, but hopefully we'll have some of that. Hopefully we'll have some bacon waiting for you, some chocolate covered bacon, all the cool fun stuff that we have.
Right.
But we also won't be disappointed if you skip us and you eventually go up to Philadelphia. That's what we want for you. So.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Well, Logan, like I said, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Appreciate you doing this, and have a great holiday season, and hopefully we get a chance to see you at some point in 2021.
You too, Mike. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Folks, that's Phillies catcher Logan O'Hoppe. I'm Mike Ventola. Thanks for watching.